Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to a very exciting FNAF news video because, as I'm sure you've seen by now, the official teaser trailer for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie has dropped. Yesterday, we did a reaction and very brief analysis on the 46-second long teaser, but we're back once more to do a frame-by-frame analysis to point out things you probably missed in the teaser, as well as going over a brand new synopsis for the film that was just released. So if you're excited for the second FNAF movie hitting theaters exclusively in theaters, by the way, on December 5th, scroll down, tickle that subscribe button, and let's actually start off with that brand new synopsis because the official FNAF movie website has updated to show the second FNAF film. Right now, there's not much to the website. The homepage just has the official logo for FNAF 2. You go over to videos, it has the official teaser, but going to synopsis, we get just a little bit of details about the upcoming film. The tagline we've seen already, anyone can survive 5 nights. This time, there will be no second chances, which has led a lot of fans to speculate some main characters going to be officially biting the bullet by the end of the film. Directed by Emma, produced by Jason and Scott, Blumhouse's box office horror phenomenon Five Nights at Freddy's, the highest grossing horror film of 2023, begins a blood-chilling new chapter of animatronic terror. Based on Scott Cawthon's blockbuster game series, FNAF 2 is directed by acclaimed returning filmmaker Emma Tammy. The first film, which opened to a record-shattering $80 million and went on to earn almost $300 million worldwide, followed Mike, a troubled young man who reluctantly takes a job as a night security guard at an abandoned themed restaurant, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, hoping it will help him retain custody of his young sister. That fateful decision instead drags him into the black heart of a supernatural nightmare. FNAF 2 is again produced by Jason Blum and Scott Cawthon. So that is all they released for an official synopsis for the film, so they are keeping the story of FNAF 2 very secret for now. But of course, with this teaser, we can pick up just a little bit of what's going on in this film. So now let's go frame by frame and analyze this trailer. So first up, we get a poster for the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza place. Now, I'll likely be repeating myself from my brief analysis in the last episode, but as you can see, there is some shattered glass alongside this poster. I personally think heavily implying that this shot right here is taken after the ending of the first film when the pizzeria collapsed. We did see in the YouTubers' vlogs when they visited the set that they rebuilt the facade for the first pizzeria. That's where we saw those flyers for FazFest, which we see a little bit of in this trailer. But since they had to rebuild the facade for the first pizzeria, it is extremely likely, pretty much confirmed, that we will be getting some scenes at that first location. Who exactly is returning to that original location? I'm going to give you my thoughts and theories in a quick second. But moving on now, we get our very first shot of Mangle. I think probably the most anticipated character fans are really excited to see in the new film. We saw behind the scenes construction when they were making Mangle in the original smaller scale, and just that image alone got so many fans excited, and Mangle fans, you get fed in this teaser. Now, we know that this is Mangle because pretty much this endoskeleton right here, it's missing an eye, it only has one eye, there's also a ton of other wires and endoskeleton parts around it, and they are being very faithful to the FNAF 2 game because this endo looks pretty much identical to Endo 02, which is the endoskeleton that the toy and withered animatronics use, very different from Endo 01, which the FNAF 1 original animatronics use. So this endo looks spot on. You can see it is Mangle waking up. Their eyes are glowing. Where exactly they're waking up at, I'd assume Kids Cove inside the pizzeria. So I'd assume this is Mangle waking up as someone enters the FNAF 2 pizzeria for the first time. And then we get reintroduced to William Afton doing voiceover for the teaser. The voice is very clearly Matthew Lillard, and I'm predicting what he's saying in the teaser is likely what he said when he originally murdered the first 5 children. I'm predicting this is what he said in the Spring Bonnie suit, welcoming back people to the pizzeria, and then doing a big countdown, getting the kids excited before luring them into the back room and killing them. And this is something I get into a little bit later on in the video.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show?
And you can also hear the puppet's music box. That is a sound pulled straight from the FNAF 2 game. In fact, there's a lot of sound effects in this teaser pulled from the games. Skipping ahead a little bit, we can hear Freddy's original FNAF 1 laugh at the end of the teaser. That was something we got in the original FNAF movie, and now seems like they're going to be doing the same thing for FNAF 2. get fans excited, you know, something they recognize. And also, of course, that music box sound does hint at the puppet being in the film. I think that's pretty much a given. The puppet is such an integral part of the FNAF lore. Such an important character in not only the FNAF 2 story, but also the gameplay as well. And then we also get our first look at FazFest. Some sort of like FNAF themed fair or a carnival. So this alone shows you just how popular Freddy Fazbear Pizza is inside the universe. You got people dressed up as the characters, right? You got someone dressed up here as Bonnie, someone here is dressed up as Foxy, cotton candy, popcorn. You have games based on FNAF characters themed around Freddy Fazbear. Once again, people dressed up. You can just barely see here, probably another Bonnie and Foxy. And then we get our first shot of a returning character, and that is going to be Abby Schmidt. She's back. Piper Rubio is back. She looks so different than she did in the first movie. Maybe that's just me. When I first saw this teaser, I thought they recasted Abby because Piper Rubio just looks so grown up in this new movie. Like, compare this new shot of Mike and Abby in the teaser with a shot of them from the first FNAF movie. We did hear murmurs that there might be some sort of time skip going on between FNAF 1 and FNAF 2. I would not at all be surprised if that is the case to kind of explain Abby looking so much older, obviously, because Piper is aging. But anyways, this shot is Abby first arriving to the brand new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Now, in real life, these sets, the facades of the FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 pizzeria are like right next to each other. Not sure if that's going to be the case in universe for the films itself, or if they're going to try to play it off like, oh no, these attractions are like very far away from each other. Now, why is Abby going to the FNAF 2 location? Well, it's so she can, quote, fix her friends. This is a note that she wrote to Mike, as we can see. Mike picking up the note. So it seems that Abby snuck out of their house to go to Freddy Fazbear's. Now, what she means by fix my friends, I think could really relate to any of the sets of animatronics, the originals, the Wizards, or the toys. If it's the original FNAF 1 characters, maybe Abby found out that they were kind of destroyed in the wreckage when the pizzeria collapsed at the ending of the first film, and now they're all destroyed. Now they're probably in pain, and the spirits are probably calling out to Abby, hey, you know, we just got a building collapsed on us. Can you come help us out a little bit? Could be referencing that. Could be referencing the Wizards. If they're a separate set of animatronics, maybe this is a little bit later on in the film. Maybe after Abby's already been to FNAF 2. She's seen the Wizards maybe, and she's like, oh, these guys are really broken and withered. Maybe that's why they got their name. I'm gonna try and fix them. Or maybe, and I think probably the most likely answer based on what we're seeing in this teaser, it's talking about the toys and how they're most likely malfunctioning. Because we see the toys do some really crazy stuff in this teaser. Stuff that I'd say really outmatches the FNAF 1 animatronics. So maybe they're malfunctioning, maybe Willie Mafton's controlling them, I really have no idea. This particular note and what it's relating to, I'd really love to know, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's talking about the toys? Do you think it's about the Wizards or those original FNAF 1 characters? I would really love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. But anyways, we got Mike picking up the note. And then we finally get reintroduced to Vanessa Shelley, who survives. I think it was pretty obvious that she wasn't dead. We saw her get stabbed at the ending in the first film, and then that movie ended off with her in the hospital. She has survived, and she knows that there are more animatronics out there, because she says, they're out there, Mike. They're everywhere. Now, how she knows? Why she knows? I'm assuming she probably knew the whole time. Vanessa held a lot of stuff back from Mike in the first movie. I wouldn't be surprised if she also didn't reveal there was another location, there's new animatronics. Honestly, based on how this scene is set up and how concerned Mike seems to be. Where? Like, look at his face, he's very concerned. I'm wondering, maybe the animatronics took Abby. I think they might be threatening Abby and the people in Abby's life. In between these shots, we do get a brief shot of Toy Bonnie here outside a window, behind some curtains, it seems like. As I said earlier, these animatronics are out in the real world now. They're going after people for some reason. We're gonna see a very interesting shot of Bonnie coming up in the teaser, but I want to get back to my theory about the animatronics and their relation to Abby in this new film. Of course, the movie's not gonna let me explain because we get a shot of someone pressing a Showtime button. I said this in my brief analysis video. I think that this is obviously the new Showtime panel for the FNAF 2 animatronics. There are a few more buttons on this panel. for the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, probably a more complex stage going on. Though what's interesting is that this arm here we can see is a little bit hairy, likely belongs to some sort of male character, older male character. There's a few possibilities. I guess it could be Mike activating Showtime. Honestly though, seems a bit out of character for him, so I don't think it's him. I think, honestly, this might be our first look at Henry. There's been murmurs that Henry's in the film. I would not be surprised if this is how they first tease him being in the movie. Just a very ominous, not really detailed shot of him pressing Showtime on the characters. Because at this point in the timeline, you know, William Afton should be rotting in the Spring Bonnie suit in the FNAF 1 pizzeria, so it really can't be him. Really seems that this is some older male character, so I feel like Henry, that's my best guess. Again, I'd love to know, who do you think this character is? But finally getting to my theory about Abby, we can see that for some reason, Toy Chica's in the school. Now, Abby, I feel like, kind of the only character who would be going to school in this film, and I'm sure these new characters are going to be some of her schoolmates. I'm guessing that maybe she's having some trouble at school, whether it be, you know, something we saw from the first film, where maybe she's just not really getting along with other kids. You know, Mike saw a counselor, a teacher at the school for that very topic. Maybe she's being bullied in school. You know, the toy animatronics wouldn't really like that sort of thing. Assuming they're gonna be friends with Abby, assuming maybe that's what this note is referring to. And they're now all going after people who are giving Abby a hard time in her real life. Starting off with some people at school. I'm not sure why they'd be going after the teacher. Honestly, he seems like a pretty chill guy. But for some reason, Toy Chica has infiltrated the school. She's getting a kill on the teacher. We can see her sweet tootsies walking around. But then what really confuses me here is that we get Mangle breaking into what seems to be Mike and Abby's house, also maybe Vanessa's house as well. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe they're gonna set up a relationship with Vanessa and Mike. Maybe they're living together now. I have no clue. It is interesting to note we never see Vanessa in her cop uniform at all throughout this teaser. Maybe now that it's kind of revealed that she's related to William Afton, maybe she was let go, or maybe she, you know, relieved herself of all of her duties. I have no idea. But it really doesn't seem like Vanessa is going to be a cop anymore in the films. Now, normally, I would say that, oh, this scene is just stitched together to make it appear that Mangle is breaking into their house. But then that wouldn't really explain why they're scared in their own home. And again, we did see Toy Bonnie lurking outside of a window for some reason. So it does seem like, for some reason, the toy animatronics are going after Mike, Abby, and Vanessa. Just a really cool shot of Mangle breaking in through the window. I still just can't get over that, right? You can see their endoskeleton head as well. God, Mangle looks so, so cool, man. But anyways, yeah, we also get another toy animatronic. Maybe Toy Freddy, maybe Toy Chica. Honestly, it's a little hard to tell. Lifting up the garage door to once again get inside of the house. So why are these toy animatronics going after Mike and Abby? My best guess is, again, maybe they're malfunctioning. Maybe Afton somehow is controlling them to go after and kill these characters. Because last we saw, Abby really got along with the animatronics. I don't see why these brand new toy animatronics are so much more aggressive. If we want to relate it back to FNAF 2, the toy animatronics in the game have facial recognition so that they can spot criminals and predators from a mile away. Maybe somehow that facial recognition has gone haywire and now they're malfunctioning, thinking that Mike, Abby, and Vanessa are criminals. But then that wouldn't really explain what we see here. Toy Bonnie wielding a screwdriver. It also is interesting to note it does look like his eyes are red here, but it is interesting to note that the red eyes will be returning. It does look like they toned down the redness though, but that's probably just to show when the animatronics are on the hunt killing people, like we see here, Toy Bonnie wielding a screwdriver, going after this random this poor couple here. Not like, you know, financially poor. Honestly, it seems that they got a pretty good house going on here. But why are they going after these characters? What did they do? These toy animatronics are so much more aggressive than the FNAF 1 animatronics. It really makes you wonder, what's going on with them? Why are they like this? But then we finally get to William Afton. There he is once again. Now, as I pointed out in my brief analysis, he's wearing the exact same clothing as we saw in that behind the scenes photo from Dawko's charity stream. And in that photo, we were kind of confused because we thought, okay, well, it's showing William Afton not rotting in a Spring Bonnie suit, so this must be a flashback, right? And I think we were half right because we also saw Elizabeth Lale on the set. And then we were like, oh, wait, if it was a flashback, wouldn't it make more sense if they had the young Vanessa actor? But I think this, like, 1 second clip of Afton finally explains what's going on here. This is not a flashback. This is a hallucination. How else would these doors be swinging without anyone opening them? And it also, like, one of them opens to reveal Afton at the end of the hallway. That's very clearly setting up a hallucination. I think what's happening here is Vanessa is losing her mind. With all due respect, Vanessa. I think her trauma... Oh, Balloon Boy, we'll get to you, don't worry. I think her trauma from her childhood with Afton being her father is, like, finally getting to her. Because, finally in the first movie, she sees her father. We all know that did not end well. Shots were fired. Knives were stabbed into bodies. And I think that's really making her go, crazy and start hallucinating all these, scenes of her dad inside of their old house, or maybe just inside Mike's house, where she's seeing, like, the house freaking out, and she's seeing her dad in places where he really shouldn't be. So I think we were, like, half right with the flashback idea. Like, technically, yes, this is a flashback to William Afton from Vanessa's childhood, but it's a flashback in the form of a hallucination, and I really, really dig that idea. You can see it's really getting to Vanessa, so much so that she's drawing another gun. So I'd love to know, do you guys think that this is a hallucination rather than a flashback to William Afton? Again, in my mind, the freaking out doors really sells that hallucination idea. Also, something else to point out, the 4 doors here and also the door at the end of the corridor, boom, look at me rhyming, very, very similar, pretty much identical to Fun with Plush Trap. With the 4 doors, and then in Help Wanted, it was revealed that there was a door behind you. And even how tall the walls are, like, in my mind, this is a clear reference to Fun with Plush Trap, so just further evidence that this is a shot of the Afton household. Anyways, though, we get Balloon Boy. The enragement child has finally made his official film debut. He had a little action figure in the first film that would jump scare Mike every now and then, and even jump scare Corey in a post-credit scene. But in FNAF 2, he is a full animatronic, and he looks spot on to what he looks like in the game. He also has the ability to light up his eyes. Me when see batteries. Something I can't believe I didn't realize in my brief analysis was that he's in the FNAF 2 office. You can see the checkered board pattern. This right here is the doorway to the hallway. You got TVs in the corner, posters on the wall, and obviously behind him is the vent that he probably crawled through to get to the office. Just barely as well, you can make out the vent button above him, like to turn on the lights. This is our first look at the FNAF 2 office, and so far, honestly, it looks awesome. I think it looks perfect. I cannot wait to get a much better shot in probably future trailers. But this alone has me excited. Again, like the doorway to the hallway, the vent opening, the cameras, the vent, light button. It all looks so good. We've also got Balloon Boy in there. He is on the wrong side. If we want to get really technical, he's on the right side here. Balloon Boy approaches from the left vent, but I will forgive them, because Balloon Boy looks perfect. But I'd love to know, what are your thoughts on our first look at the FNAF 2 movie office? And then we get another shot of William Afton, this time in the Spring Bonnie costume, probably pre-Springtrap. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a flashback to maybe him killing some kids. We did see that in the 8-bit intro sequence from the first movie, but again, that was only an 8-bit intro sequence. Maybe this here is going to be us witnessing him killing the 5 kids, maybe killing more kids for the FNAF 2 pizzeria, if you believe that the characters are haunted. Or I suppose this still could be, Spring Bonnie, Springtrap post FNAF 1 building collapse. However, I would really like it if they kept him in that back room, trapped in the abandoned FNAF 1 pizzeria, until the 3rd film. Let the anticipation build for the Springtrap reveal in FNAF 3. But those are my thoughts. I think most likely, maybe this is a flashback to him killing some kids. And then we get another very interesting scene of maybe again the FNAF 2 office. These kind of look like lockers, and there are lockers behind you in the FNAF 1 and 2 games, as we saw in Help Wanted. Plus more drawings here, but I think, let me address the obvious here. That person just got abducted by Mangle. This is our first look at Teo Briones, who I apologize profusely if I am butchering your name. We talked about it in a FNAF news video a little bit ago, but they are in the film. This is our first look at them, and they are, again, I'm assuming they're gonna be friends of Abby at school. They have a camera. for some reason. I'm not sure why they went into the FNAF 2 pizzeria with a camera. As we can see, it does not end well for them, but it seems like a few of Abby's friends are going to make their way into the FNAF 2 pizzeria, and those are going to be the character deaths we're gonna get for this film. But this is our first look at Teo being abducted by Mangle, being grabbed from the ceiling, dragged up into probably a vent in the ceiling. God, that's gonna be such a sick kill. Speaking of Mangle, we have a scene of them attacking someone in a car. It looks like the character has long blonde hair, so I'm assuming that this is Vanessa. And we got a piece of Mangle's arm just going right through the front windshield there. Insurance is not going to cover that. That is going to be a very terrifying scene. Seems like Mangle has a lot of scenes here, right? Attacking someone in a car, pulling them up into a vent, as well as busting through a window. Like, Mangle is really going all out for the second FNAF film. So many good scenes of Mangle here, which is incredible because they're such an amazing character. But we get Mike, Abby, Vanessa scared in their house once more. Who's infiltrating their house? Probably the toy animatronics, as we can see from the clips of them breaking in through the window, breaking in through the garage. Showtime! And then we get William saying, "Showtime!" And then we get our first look at McKenna Grace in FNAF 2. Oh my god, I'm so happy. If you saw in my initial reaction, I was like, wait a second, is that McKenna? And it is, dude. McKenna is such a great actress. Dawko, I watched his reaction video to the teaser. He says that when they visited the set, they got to see McKenna record a few of her scenes, so they had nothing but praise to say about her acting, so I cannot wait. She's a great actress. Also a massive FNAF fan as well, so this must be a dream come true for her. I'm so jealous. McKenna, congratulations, that is insane. FNAF 2 and Scream 7, like, pop off. But she's screaming up at something. Maybe she's seeing Teo's character being taken away into the vent. And she's looking up into the vent. I do think she's going to be another friend of Abby's who goes into the pizzeria. I think, unfortunately, she might die, which I'm sad about because I would love for McKenna to be a returning character in these films. But I do think, FNAF fans, we might have to say rip and chat for all of Abby's friends. FNAF 2! And then one final tease at the end showing Toy Freddy out and about at Faz Fest. I can only imagine how many NDAs there had to be to keep this scene hush-hush. Look at all these cosplays as well. You got Toy Bonnie, you got Toy Chica, you got Foxy back there. Wow, what a great costume this character has as well. People have been making that meme, and I am 100% on board with that being a joke in the movie. It's stupid, I know, but it would be so stupid that it's hilarious. Some guy walks up to Toy Freddy. "Oh, dude, sick cosplay, bro. Can I get a photo?" Turns out it's just actually Toy Freddy. 100% a joke they're gonna make. I'm totally fine with it. It's cheesy, it's dumb, but I'm on board. And Toy Freddy, he looks perfect. Toy animatronics look perfect in this film. I don't know what else to say. Jim Henson's Creature Shop, I love you, I love you, I love you. And like I said earlier, we can hear Freddy's laugh from the original FNAF 1, only in theaters, December 5th. They said no to Peacock. You can't watch it on the cock. And that was, oh, also exclusively written by Scott. It seems that. I believe the first film was written by Scott, Seth Cudback, and maybe one more person. Okay, I don't think Matt Pat helped writing. Yeah, Scott, Seth, and Emma. I guess Scott's the sole writer for FNAF 2. That's interesting. And then, of course, directed by Ebba. So, that was my frame-by-frame analysis of the teaser trailer for the second FNAF film. I've said it in my first video, I'll say it again. I am so happy by the look of the film so far. The animatronics look menacing. They look pulled right out of the game. I am so happy that we are getting the animatronics being killers, being scary, being intimidating, instead of whatever the hell the fort scene was. I get they did that because there are children inside the animatronics, but call me old-fashioned. I like it when my animatronics are killers. But thank you all so much for watching this very long FNAF movie analysis video, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Goodbye.